You're doing great.
I know.
It's awesome.
There's a lot of things to say about their credentials. Okay. Hi, I'm Gina from UC Davis Continuing and Professional Education, and we're here at the Great Beer Hall at Sudwerk Brewing Company in Davis, California. We're doing something really exciting today. We're tasting a clone of a retired beer called John Courage. Yeah, I'd never heard of it either. But it dates back to 1787. It's an English beer. And a 2019 graduate, Harlan Coomes, brewed it, and he's sharing it with us today. Joining us in the tasting today, some heavy hitters in brewing, Dr. Charlie Bamforth, Distinguished Professor Emeritus at the Department of Food Science and Technology at UC Davis, and Dr. Glen Fox, Anheuser-Busch Endowed Professor of Malting and Brewing Science, also at UC Davis, Department of Food Science and Technology. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Great to be here.
John Courage. So why John Courage? What makes this so special? Why did you want to take on cloning this recipe?
Well, I developed a taste for English beer and kind of became hooked on UK styles of beer, including Irish ales and things like that. So, now I've come full circle where, I come across something that I like and I think, well, hey, I'm a brewer. I can make that.
I can do that.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, so Dr. Bamforth, Dr. Fox, you're familiar with this beer, yes?
Yes, from a long way back. Yes.
Tell us, what style of beer is this? What should we expect when we taste it?
Yeah, what we're talking about is Courage Best, basically. But the style is an English cask condition ale, which are the hand pumped beers traditionally served. Not too alcoholic. So this beer would be around 4.1, 4.2% alcohol by volume. I'd expect it to have a good malt character, fairly rich color, and quite a sort of a caramel type maltiness from some of the specialty malt that will be used. And also reasonably bitter, a subtle but not excessive, what we call a dry hop character. So a nice hoppiness that is introduced by putting some hops right at the end of the process.
I'm starting to salivate. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, me too, but I only have to do that, you see, and I start to salivate.
So, Dr. Fox, I've been drinking beer for, roughly 20 or so years. Maybe
Me
depends.
too.
Since you were 6.
Right.
You
Depends on
started at 6, my word.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But, I know a little about proper tasting techniques. So, could you give us some best practices, some tips as we go into tasting the beer? What should we be doing?
Well, there's a number of things we need to be conscious of when we're going to do a tasting and do it properly and give true service to the beer that we're trying to taste. So starting with glasses, absolutely clean glasses, because any residue from the washing can really affect the quality of the foam and the appearance of the beer. So super clean glasses. When we look at the beer, the first thing we see is the colour and the foam. How we perceive that is immediately telling us a story about the beer. So seeing the colour and seeing the foam, how big the foam is and how it sort of settles as we drink the beer is continuing to tell us a story.
Okay.
So we often don't need to know the full story about the beer because we can see the beer, and as soon as we taste the beer, we can understand what the brewer was trying to do.
Interesting. This is why you do not drink out of a bottle.
No, that's disgusting. You pour it into a glass. And you're not only looking at the foam, you're looking at the colour and the clarity. Now, of course, in this day and age in North America, it's all the rage to have cloudy beer.
Right.
But what I'm hoping that I'm going to see here today is bright beer, because Courage Bitter would have been bright. It would not have had any haze in it, any turbidity.
Right. Okay.
So we'll see just how well Harlan has achieved that.
Well, let's do this.
Shall we try it?
Yes, let's
Means
do
we
it.
have to drink the whole glass. Of
Oh,
course.
okay,
right.
I'm in.
I'm hitching to get a hold of this.
Okay, you've got the one with the vitamin B in it.
I have, yes. Cheers, you're very good
Cheers.
help.
Let's look at the clarity.
Yeah, the cherry, yes, not quite bright, NQB,
Well, that's your glass. Here, let's try it.
No, I can see yours as well. Yours as well is NQ. Well, actually, the first one is.
It's a pretty good pour.
Is just about, yeah.
It's the brightest.
Back in the day, of course, this beer would have been clarified using something called isinglass, which is proteins that come from the swim bladders of fish from
Wow.
the South China Seas.
Really?
And that would have settled stuck onto the insoluble material and settled it out.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
But of course, the easier thing to do is to filter. But you didn't filter?
I did not.
No.
This is all clarified by manual method and biofine. Oh, look at those tiny bubbles streaming up there.
It's got a pleasing maltiness. It's a little bit harsher, a little bit more bitter than I would recall.
So
If
what
it-
pointers might you have for Harlan if he's going to take this on again? And
I would. I'd like to check what the bitterness is. I think it's a little bit high, but he probably doesn't have the spectrophotometer at home to actually make that measurement.
No, I have to calculate
the
it.
spectra for what?
A spectrophotometer. Don't you know how bitterness is measured? You extract all of the stuff in a solvent and then you measure the ultraviolet absorbance at a
That
certain
makes a lot of sense,
wavelength.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it'll tell you exactly how much bitterness in there.
You should get one of those.
Alternatively, well, yeah, every
Next time I have $50,000, I don't need.
I'll get them for cheaper than that.
Oh,
But no, seriously. But what he's done is because he knows, he understands.
Yeah.
So you choose how much hop, you know how much potential bitterness there is in the hop. So you put in the right amount. And I think he just misjudged it slightly on the high side.
Right.
And I
It's
would
science
ask,
mixing.
what malt have you added?
so this is Maris Otter is the base malt, of course, and then there's varying amounts of English Crystal 7080, and I think the other malt I used was Crystal 15. I have the recipe percentages back there, and so what I did is I played with the bitterness, played with the hop profile, and I basically transposed the crystal malt and the English crystal malt to get one maltier than the other. So that's why you're going to experience two different beers of
Yep.
the same basic genesis today.
Wow.
That was good.
That was good.
And look at the lacing. That is a thing of beauty. Thank you, Charlie, for teaching me how to do that.
I developed a method to measure how much foam sticks to the side of a beer glass. Isn't that sad? Isn't that terribly
I'm
sad?
guessing that's why you're called the Pope of Foam.
That's one of the reasons.
Yeah. Great. Should we try number 2?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Indeed.
No.
Here we
That's
go.
what we're here for.
Well, the first thing to say is who cleaned these glasses? They're not as clean as they should be.
Then not me.
That's a nice color.
Yeah?
Reasonably bright. Reasonably bright. Yeah, I don't think, if you work for Courage, I don't think you'd lose your job on that.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You're very good health. Sorry, I'm
Indeed.
being greedy here.
You can smell maltiness.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's a very nice
Oh.
malty flavor.
That's great.
That is a very nice malty flavor.
Well done.
Oh. Now this is what I remember.
Yeah,
Right
the,
here.
the malt and the hop bitterness are in
it's a good balance.
good balance.
So
When did you add the hops in fermentation?
I like to wait until the fermentation is almost complete,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then I left them in for I think about 5 days,
Okay.
and then fished them out. It seems like after about 3 days, most of the dry hop is in the beer, but
Well,
but I
what would
let
have
go a little
happened in the brewing of this professionally, commercially, was that when the beer was racked, which means coming out after fermentation, racked into barrels, what they would put in, or what they would make sure was in there, was enough yeast and enough sugar to do the natural carbonation. They would put in these isinglass finings, a solution of protein to settle everything out, but they'd put some hops actually into the finished container,
Got
into
it.
the finished barrel. And so they would be there and releasing their aroma progressively in the barrel of beer. You thirsty, Harlan?
I am. I'm really enjoying my beer.
You're
I'll be
enjoying
honest
your
with you
beer.
guys. It's the fun part about brewing beer. It makes people happy, and it's fun to make something that you can share that people enjoy.
Well, we
And
enjoyed
that's
it.
really why I like doing it.
Very sessionable.
Yes.
It's very good.
Good word, that.
Thank you.
Sessionable.
Sessionable.
Yeah. Drinkable. Yeah.
With that,
Drinkable.
I think I'm going to pour myself some more.
There you go. Well, on that note, it's been such a pleasure tasting with you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd like to thank our Master Brewer Certificate alum, Harlan Coomes, for brewing and sharing this beer with us. Thank you, Dr. Bamforth. Thank you, Dr. Fox.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to see more videos like this, give us a like or share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your ideas. And on behalf of the Master Brewers Certificate Program, beer, science in a glass, cheers.
Cheers.